He knew where she was at any given time, and he was fairly certain he could sense her presence in a room before knowing for a certainty she was there. He had taken to wearing small flowers in his lapel, different colours and types for different meanings. She would smile, seeing him across a crowded room, knowing a sprig of lavender meant devotion, and that it was for her. His well-sprung carriage made the trip to his well-tended townhome, situated in the midst of London's finest neighbourhood, and not far from Jack and Ivy. He dismissed the driver and made his way inside with the intention of immediately climbing the stairs to his suite to change into his evening attire. His butler, Dillington, cleared his throat when Anthony's boot touched the bottommost stair.
"My lord, you have a visitor."
Anthony frowned.
"I'm not receiving now, Dillington. Whoever is waiting must return tomorrow."
Dillington approached the stairs, forcing Anthony to pause.
"Sir, it is the Viscount Blackstone. He would not be put off. He is in the library."
Anthony looked at his butler for some time, his heartbeat increasing a fraction. The last time Lord Blackstone had demanded an audience, Anthony had found himself spying for the War Department in Napoleon's France.
"No, I don't suppose he would be put off."
Anthony changed direction, heading for the library.
"Don't bother announcing me, Dillington. And please see that Faring lays out my evening clothes. This meeting will not be lengthy."
Anthony entered the library and took note of the man who had sent him to war a handful of years back. Anthony's elder brother, Alfred, had been alive then, as had his father and mother, and as the spare to Wiltshire's heir, military service was Anthony's natural course. Lord Blackstone, though, had reviewed the battery of tests Anthony had taken upon the purchase of his commission and pulled him aside for a deeper cause. Blackstone stood at the hearth, examining the portrait of Anthony's late mother that hung above the mantel. He turned at Anthony's footsteps and offered his signature smile, the one that so easily influenced other members of various organisations to see his way of things. Anthony's instinctive guard came out of retirement and slammed into place. Blackstone could charm a shilling from a street vendor, and Anthony always wondered about the man's true motives.
"What do you want?"
Blackstone's brows shot up, and he laughed.
"Direct as ever, I see. Perhaps I'm merely stopping by to renew an old acquaintance." "Forgive my abruptness. The last time we spoke, I believe I made myself clear. I want nothing more to do with the War Department."
Blackstone's smile slipped.
"Sometimes the past has a way of coming home to roost. I believe that's the saying."
Anthony studied the man and finally gestured to a pair of chairs near the hearth.
"What past is coming home to roost?"
Lord Blackstone paused after taking his seat.
"Someone stole the Janus document."
Anthony's breath left his lungs, and he stared at the Viscount for a long moment before finally blinking.
"I need you to find it."
Anthony shook his head, regarding the man who had with one sentence disrupted his entire life.
"How did this happen?"
Blackstone sat back in his seat and sighed.
"A man named Harold Miller works as my subordinate. He has access to my offices, but not to the documents under lock and key."
He rubbed his forehead.
"I don't know how he did it, but the document is gone. I tracked him as far as France before I lost him completely. I believe he intends to sell it to the French military."
Anthony frowned, an uneasy sense of dread settling into his stomach.
"You wrote the document in a code nobody knows but you, though. At least that is what you told me when you first created it."
Blackstone shifted in his seat.
"I had intended to. Time became an issue, and I was obliged to focus on weightier matters, so I found it simpler to create it with our code already in use."
Anthony stared.
"There are dozens of agents who know that code," he bit out. "Any one of us could be bribed or threatened into revealing it."
He ground his teeth together, wanting very much to thrash the man.
"We are as good as dead. All of us. Your operatives."
Blackstone's brow wrinkled, and he winced.
"Not only the operatives, I'm afraid. The document is a composite of detailed information intended for my use only, but it is exhaustive. Names of operatives, their families..."